I never imagined that I'd be forced to confront a situation like this, but life has a way of surprising you. My name's Alex, and I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood on a large property at the end of a cul-de-sac. It's a 50-acre plot of land that's been in my family for generations. The main house, guest house, stables, and an expansive backyard with a private pool were all built with care, and I take great pride in maintaining this sanctuary. I bought the house for privacy and peace to escape the stress of managing technology networks for a large corporation. Then came the Neighborhood Association, the North Ridge Homeowners Association, and our HOA, and a problem I didn't anticipate: Karen. She was the self-appointed enforcer of all rules, a board member with an eye for what she thought was community spirit. It all started when I arrived home from a long day of work and saw something I couldn't believe. A group of people, at least 15 strangers, were in my backyard, splashing around in my pool like it was a public resort. The sight made my blood boil. A teenage boy belly flopped right in front of me, nearly soaking my dog, Max, a German shepherd who barked in confusion. Folding chairs were scattered across the grass, and music blared from a Bluetooth speaker. My grill was hauled out onto the lawn, and a cooler of drinks sat under the hot sun. To top it off, a woman wearing oversized sunglasses, who was floating on my favorite pool float, the one I bought for myself after my divorce, had the nerve to look at me as if I was the intruder. I live on the edge of the neighborhood, and although I technically fall under the local HOA's jurisdiction, my house is completely surrounded by thick hedges and a private fence I had installed years ago. The pool, which was built and approved by the city, was absolutely not an HOA-managed amenity. Yet, there she was, Karen, strolling around my pool in flip-flops, as if she owned the place. And then she had the audacity to wave at me and say, "Hope you don't mind. Just a little neighborhood mixer." I could hardly process what I was hearing. "A little mixer?" I yelled. "This is my private backyard." She blinked at me, that smug look on her face. "Well, technically, you're part of the HOA," she said. "So you signed up for communal values." Communal values? I seethed. I had bought this house for peace and privacy, not for my backyard to become a public party zone for Karen and her friends. Max barked again, trying to charge at the intruders, but I held him back as a little girl splashed water at him and giggled. I stormed past Karen, who had the nerve to say, "You look tense. Want a burger?" I didn't respond, just walked over, turned off the speaker mid-song, slammed the cooler lid shut, and pointed to the gate. "Everyone out now." "Of course," Karen protested. "Come on, don't ruin the vibe. It's just water. You're being such a gatekeeper." I didn't dignify her with an answer. I opened the gate wide, and some of the guests, sensing the situation was about to escalate, began quietly gathering their towels and leaving. One teenage boy muttered an awkward, "Sorry, man," as he passed me. Karen, of course, was the last to leave, her nostrils flaring like a bull ready to charge. "This isn't over," she hissed as she stomped out. The gate slammed shut behind her, but the rage I felt didn't subside. I spent the next hour draining the pool halfway and disinfecting everything they had touched. Max sat on the porch, watching me, probably hoping I'd do something about this. Afterward, I checked the security camera footage. It didn't take long to confirm how it all went down. At 11 a.m., Karen showed up, a tote bag in hand and a clipboard tucked under her arm. She casually unlocked my gate with a bobby pin and began setting up. 10 minutes later, people started arriving with towels and picnic baskets. I saw them wave at the camera. They knew they weren't supposed to be there, but they didn't care. I rewound the footage and found the moment that sealed it all. Karen stood directly in front of the camera, smiled, and mouthed, "He won't mind." The next day, I brought the footage to the HOA meeting. As the board droned on about trivial matters like mailbox maintenance and mulch colors, I stood up during the open floor session, calmly pulled out my tablet, and hit play. The room went quiet as they watched the footage of Karen opening my gate, leading the party, and violating every boundary I had set. When it ended, I turned to the board and asked, "So, what are you going to do about one of your own trespassing on private property, throwing unauthorized parties, and violating multiple community codes?" "Harold," the board president, stammered, "we'll need to review this in the next quarterly meeting." I cut him off. "I am the formal complaint." Karen crossed her arms and retorted, "You're being dramatic. No one got hurt. It was just a harmless get-together. I stared at her. What if someone had been hurt? What if someone slipped or drowned or damaged my property? Is that the HOA's responsibility? Harold adjusted his glasses and mumbled something about insurance not covering private amenities, but nobody on the board took any action. I left the meeting, furious. That's when I realized something. If nobody was going to respect my boundaries, maybe it was time to change the landscape. On my drive home, I passed by a garden center with a koi pond out front. The peaceful, beautiful sight sparked an idea in me. Instead of fighting her with more noise and drama, why not do something permanent? Something irrefutable? By the time I reached my house, the plan had already started to take shape.